As you know, James O'Keefe was pushed out of Project Veritas after years and years of trying to build up the Project Veritas name, and he was very successful at it. He built up Project Veritas to a point where it was pretty much, if you know the truth about the world, if you're red-pilled about the world, it was the news outlet for exposing certain things, for exposing stuff like Pfizer, for exposing election fraud, for exposing things like that people who know the truth about the world have exposed. And of course, whenever you get too close to the sun, sometimes you get burned. And James O'Keefe did get too close to the sun. He was too close to the truth. And, you know, Pfizer, other corporations definitely invaded Project Veritas and mutinied James O'Keefe out of there. And they're going to lie, and they're going to lie and lie and lie until some people believe them. The bots out there, the bots who are, you know, disguising themselves as wolves, but they're really sheep. They're believing Project Veritas. Even now, I'm seeing people still retweet Project Veritas, still reply to them, telling them good job. And they're not doing it. They're not going to do anything without James O'Keefe. They're not going to expose the real truth. And you have to know, now that James O'Keefe is out of there, that they are compromised. But James O'Keefe is on Charlie Kirk's show as we speak right now. If you're watching this video, they could possibly be still live, but even if they're not, go check out the replay. This has been a great stream so far. And James O'Keefe and Charlie Kirk are dropping some bombshells. One of them being that O'Keefe Media Group has launched. And James O'Keefe tweeted this out earlier. The Ides of March have come. We launched today. Hashtag OMG. The OMG hashtag is the O'Keefe Media Group. And this idea is actually, it's not even just like Project Veritas. It's not just Project Veritas with a new brand. It's not just Project Veritas with a new logo. It's actually different. It's owned by everyone. It's owned by the crowd. It's crowdfunded. At least at this point in time, he's not taking on any like big investors as far as I can tell. I didn't watch the entire live stream yet because it's still ongoing, but it seems like it's mostly going to be crowdfunded. If you go down to the bottom down here, it's founding member plans. So you can support 500, 1,000, 2,500 or 5,000, or if you want to go a monthly plan, you can do $20 a month. So this is like yearly plans here, 500 a month to 5,000 a month, and you can sponsor certain equipment. And I think this is a much better business model, dude, because as soon as James O'Keefe was banned, and you can see it in Charlie Kirk's chat over here on Rumble, you can see there's a ton of people supporting James O'Keefe so hard. Like everyone wanted to find out how we could possibly crowdfund him to start up something new, because everyone is behind this movement, dude. We're not here watching this stuff. We're not making these videos. We're not watching people like James O'Keefe for entertainment. We're watching them because they're helping move forward the movement and helping uncover the truth. So whenever we have the opportunity to, we want to support them where possible. And I definitely think everybody should go over to O'KeefeMediaGroup.com and support James O'Keefe if you do have the money to do it. If not, just signal boost this out there, man. Just let everybody know who was following James O'Keefe in the past, who was a fan of Project Veritas and supporting them. Just let them know where the real truth seekers have gone, because they're not at Project Veritas anymore, dude. He even said, and I'll play you the video in 1 second, he said that he brought over a group of some of the most elite journalists from Project Veritas, and he might have even picked some up from other places as well. But he's bringing over a group of elite journalists, and I think probably only the best ones he's bringing from Project Veritas over to O'Keefe Media Group. And I think this is a really good idea. I think this is a really good idea so far, and I'll tell you why right now. Like I said, it's not a carbon copy of Project Veritas. Let's check out exactly what O'Keefe Media Group is. Empowering and equipping a movement of thousands of people like you to report things that are wrong with the support of an in-house team of elite journalists to bring factual, unbiased stories to light. The mission continues. Welcome to O'Keefe Media Group. We can never be shut down again, because not only do I own it, but you do too. Support us and sponsor our army of journalists by becoming a founding member today. O'Keefe Media Group is building an army of investigators and exposers, along with the most elite journalists in the world. In the coming months, you will see this army expanding across the country. Every state house, every city council, every school board, and everywhere people are conspiring to keep themselves in power, practice favoritism, or line their pockets with tax dollars. Are you passionate about the O'Keefe Media Group's effort to bring truth through journalism to the American public? Become a founding member to not only promote our vision, but to sponsor the work of our hardworking journalists. Be the first to drive the mission forward. So he also said on the Charlie Kirk live stream, and there might be other exciting things happening as we speak. Like I said, go check out that replay if you haven't seen it already. But he also said some other very interesting things about what's going to happen with the O'Keefe Media Group. I heard him even mention that he was going to do some journalism classes and teach people like what kind of equipment they need and what kind of things they can do to kind of join the army that he's trying to build of true journalists in America. Because let's be real, most journalists out there are not true journalists anymore. They're just propagandists. who disguise themselves as journalists, like James O'Keefe and the people who work at Project Veritas, are some of the last true journalists out there. So he said he's going to not only give classes about the type of equipment and things like that you need, but also teach people how to get these stories, these similar types of stories that James O'Keefe and others have been getting. Now, obviously, it's going to be a lot harder for the average Joe to do these things, because, you know, James O'Keefe and Project Veritas and now O'Keefe Media Group have certain connections, they have certain ins, and they just know the right people to be able to get these stories out there. But if everybody who is willing to do this type of thing is armed with the knowledge, with the equipment, with everything that they need outside of the connections, then there's going to be a lot more things being exposed, and it's going to be a lot harder to stop it. You know, because you cut the head off the snake with Project Veritas. If you cut James O'Keefe off, then yeah, the entire company is compromised now. But if you cut the head off of O'Keefe Media Group, and the entire country is armed with this knowledge, the entire country is out there trying to expose this stuff as journalists, then cutting the head off of the snake here doesn't do anything. You know, it's just going to grow right back. You can't just end this company. Like James says here, will never be shut down again, because he's not only crowdfunding this thing, not only is everybody a founding member, and there's no big investors as far as I can tell, telling them what to do, or maybe, you know, there's no board of investors, there's no way he can be compromised, because it's more crowdfunded than anything. So it's much harder to shut it down by just removing James O'Keefe, because James O'Keefe, by the time you're able to shut it down, by the time you're able to infiltrate and mutiny against James O'Keefe again, he will have taught the entire country how to become real journalists. Let's check out this video about the launching of O'Keefe Media Group.
The irony of the Acorn story is that it took a 25-year-old with a hidden camera a few days to do what billion-dollar networks and journalists could not do in a decade. I spent 14 years creating the most effective nonprofit newsroom this country has ever seen. And in paving the way to establish citizen journalism, I have been defamed, arrested, raided, and ultimately removed from the organization I spent so much time developing credibility of. I always knew they would try to ruin the reputations of those who expose them, the pharma giants, the three-letter government agencies, and those who I thought I could trust. But in response, we are going to build an army of investigators and exposers. They have awakened a sleeping giant. I'm back. Remaining by my side are a small, tight-knit group of the most elite journalists in the world. Exposing corruption requires standing up to power, because power hates sunlight. We are sunlight. Welcome to the O'Keefe Media Group, where we will never be shut down, because not only do I own it, but you own it too. Support us and sponsor our army of journalists by becoming a founding member today.
I definitely think that if you do have the means to, you should go support James O'Keefe. Go support O'Keefe Media Group. It's at o'keefemediagroup.com. I'll put the link probably in the pinned comment, but definitely in the description as well. But let me know what you guys think about James O'Keefe going on Charlie Kirk's live and dropping this bombshell. I think it's really good. It's really good that James O'Keefe is out there already starting his new thing, starting his own thing, because we need people like James O'Keefe. We need James O'Keefe himself, dude. He's obviously a very special journalist. He's been able to accomplish a whole lot more than most other journalists out there could ever dream of. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the entire situation.